In my opinion, the group of lizards that we collectively call monitors or goannas are some of the best looking lizards in the world. And in that family, this guy here might just be a competitor for the best looking. He is the Mangrove Monitor. In today's video, we're going to have a talk about the Mangrove Monitor. Stick around. So as the name suggests, the Mangrove Monitor is basically found in mangrove environments in far northern Queensland, up in Cape York, and a little sliver along the coast of the Northern Territory. That's here in Australia anyway. Unlike a lot of our animals, this guy's found well beyond Australian borders. Mangrove monitors are also found throughout southern New Guinea. These guys are found in parts of Indonesia, Pacific Islands. They have a massive range. What's also interesting about this range is it's actually been expanded by human beings in a couple of different ways. There's some evidence that some of these Pacific Island populations were introduced by Polynesians when they arrived to these places, and basically as a source of meat. They can drop this animal off, it's going to survive, and if they come past this island again, there's big monitor lizards there that they can eat. But more recently, these guys have been introduced to more islands again, as recently as World War II. Some of the Pacific Islands that the Japanese had taken over in World War II, they introduced this guy here to get rid of rats that were getting into their food stalls. And it seemed to work. The rat numbers plummeted. Years later, when the US took over these islands as they re-invaded, the locals were complaining about the monitor lizards eating their chickens and taking their eggs and things like this. So the Americans introduced another animal, the cane toad, which we've done in videos before. And this dropped the monitor lizard numbers, and now they're worried about cane toads and increasing rat numbers. So yeah, this guy's got a really big range, but what parts of it are natural and what parts of it are man-made are somewhat open to debate. Now, having such a big range, these guys are also highly variable throughout that range, in colour and pattern a little bit, but also in size. Being an Australian mangrove monitor, this guy could get to about 1 metre long. Living in these environments, Pacific Islands, mangrove swamps, things like this, these guys eat things like crabs and shrimp, small fish, all the invertebrates that are living in the mangroves, moths and slugs and caterpillars and things like this. But they'll take birds and eggs like all of our monitors. These guys are obligate carnivores, so tiny little dinosaurs roaming around the mangrove ecosystem. Also living in this ecosystem, these guys are fairly unique in that they are one of only 2 monitor lizards in the world that have salt excretory glands in their nostrils. They're literally able to sneeze out the excess salt that they consume when they're eating things like little crustaceans down on the mangrove flats and things like this. The only other one that does that is an Australian species again, the rusty monitor, who lives on the east coast of Queensland. Now, this is unique. As I said, no other monitors do this, only these 2. And that is something that, we see in things like marine iguanas and sea turtles. So it's the beginnings of a marine living monitor lizard. It's pretty cool. It means that this guy can live in a highly saline environment that other monitors simply would just dehydrate and have salt toxicity issues and things like that. So a very cool adaptation. So with all that in mind, we're going to pop this guy on back. But before I do, I want to do a couple of things. The first thing is, if you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Check us out on Facebook. But this guy also doesn't belong to us. We're lucky enough to be visiting Dragon Training Mobile Zoo. These guys have this guy. They've got a bunch of other monitors, some crocs, some snakes, all sorts of cool stuff up here in New South Wales. They've been kind enough to let us visit and film with this bloke. So, if you can do us a favour and check them out on Facebook as well, say hello, thank them for letting us come by. It means a lot to me and them. But other than that, guys, check on back next week. There's lots more wildlife content coming. But between now and then, be nice to wildlife. Have a good one and take care.